Hello everyone. This is the prone row. My hands are stuck on the bar. No, actually I'm not. But this is the prone row. This is how we're going to do it. You're going to go through X select today with me being face down the whole time. Okay? Stick with it. So this is the prone row. A fantastic exercise for the upper back. We generally do not have. It's a little too challenging. I have to look at you while I'm lying on my side. Hello everyone, this is the prone row. We don't have a lot of upper body pulling activities that are postural endurance and lower body is not involved in doing it. So, you know, pendulate row off the ground, one arm row, torso row, dumbbell row, bent over row, etc., etc. Our feet are planted, or we are using our hips or our low back and bum to basically stabilize in order to do it. The great thing around the prone row, or even at Globo gyms, the T-bar row, or even a seated low row, which is a different movement, but the greatest thing around those, well, not the seated row, but the prone row or T-bar row, we don't have to use our lower body to do the activity. So the greatest thing around that is that it isolates the upper pulling activity. The downside is that there's hardly ever any upper pulling involved when we're not feet flat on the ground. So just don't forget that. So this really is a fantastic supplementary activity for upper pulling. Okay, the tempo for it, based upon the position and the action and the angle, because it's very simplistic, is that there's not a lot of tension when my arms are extended. So when I'm at the bottom and I'm beginning the repetition in the exercise, even though it may not look like that, maybe you can see my feet, but I do want to have an active core engagement when I do this. So I give the cue that it's the same position as you're in when you're doing an FLR. So I want to have my bum slightly engaged, my quads tight, and my toes pointed, right? I want to have my core engaged. But as I was saying, when I take the barbell off and I get into a starting position, the only tension that's here is really my tendons or the length of my muscle taking load, right? So I'm not too concerned in the tempo of having any pauses down there. You could do it for a reset, but it's not a big point that you should be interested in. What you are interested in is when my elbows are farthest away from my body at the top here, of making that the most challenging as possible. So most times with the prone row, especially with the cambered bar, so that I can get my elbows as high as possible, you want to pull this barbell up until it gets pinned on this machine. That means that you're pulling the bar to the machine and you're going to hold that as hard as possible using your upper back muscles to keep it pinned in place, okay? So the tempo should be a couple seconds down, no pause, pull up, pin it in place and hold it, and then go back down and release, okay? And when you do that action, especially for people who are starting the activity, the other positive thing around this is that with that correct tempo in mind of 2 down, no pause, 1 up, 2 pause, so 2, 0, 1, 2, the exercise itself basically tells you who is it good for, but it also allows us to do a lot of different variations of reps, okay? That's the positive thing around it. You do get some differences in people that are super powerful and can't go beyond 20 to 30 seconds with this. Some other individuals can go a little longer and get a good effective movement of it. But I love this because you can do challenging doubles, you can do sets of 10, all with those same style of tempo formats. And so that's why I really like it. So 2, 0, 1, 2 is a real good one for this, as long as you're super tight on what that 2 seconds is like. So this will what will be my cueing in 2 seconds. So toes pointed, quads a little tight, my bum is a little bit engaged, my core is engaged, kind of like an FLR. I remove the bar, I'm going to pull it up and hold it. 1, 2, 1, 2. No pause at the bottom, pull it up again, hold it for 1, 2, back down, no pause at the bottom, and I would repeat that action, 2, 0, 1, 2. If you have someone that's watching you, it would be great if they could watch you from the side and from behind, as weird as that is. The behind action would be great because you can see elevation of both scapula. You may have seen it on my side, because when I've seen this before for myself, I do have one scapula that actually is more elevated off my thorax than the other. for a bunch of different reasons, but it's important to pick that out. Secondly, you want to see the angle of the elbow away from the body. So just think about that. If you're looking at someone from up above and they're doing this, you want to make sure that that elbow action is at almost like a 45-degree angle away from their body. So, you know, I don't want to have, I'm not looking for this action, right, in the prone row, and I'm not looking for that action in the prone row. I'm looking for a 45-degree angle position, which is a good scapular plane is what it's called, so I can get those elbows as high as possible so that it allows me to use my arm flexors, my lats that want to rotate my arm backwards. Although it's fixed in place, it wants to rotate me backwards. It wants my scapula to be pulled down my thorax, and it wants my scapula to move closer together towards my spine. So I get my traps used, rhomboids, lats, bicep, gripping muscles. It's all used in that full pulling action. So indirectly assess those two things. Watch someone from behind to see if they have two differences in their scapula sizes, raising or rotation, and then ensure they have equality from right to left side when they do it. Again, as a review for the prone row, the prone row is 2-0-1-2 as a best tempo. Lots of different repetition prescriptions that you can offer for people. As a pattern of movement, if you check you follow me on Instagram, JFitsOPEX, I've done a full guidelines as to how you can effectively do this. Just go back and look through all my photos and you'll see a picture of this guy, and I go through like 10 different points that you can remember for it. So it's effectiveness for pulling, and when you do want to do it, when you don't. That's fairly lengthy, which is why I didn't want to do it with X-Select. But this is a fantastic supplementary exercise for upper pulling. It's great if it's paired with an upper body pushing horizontal activity, and it can also be paired with upper back squat barbell activities. So not a big fan of front squatting activities with this because we need our lats to be engaged really strongly for a front squat, and so this can fatigue our lats and maybe take a little bit of instability away from the pelvis. So when you use an upper back, and they can just load it on the spine as well as just pull down and engage the lats into the low back. Again, it's a good exercise you can mix with a back squat if people need to do that. In a lot of cases, pair this with upper body pushing, preferably with two arms at once, and you're good to go. So that's the prone row, 2-0-1-2, lots of rep ranges, great accessory upper body exercise. Make sure you ensure they pin it on the thing, on the machine every time, and if they can pin it for 2 seconds, that's the indication of a successful rep. Good luck with it.